As a teenager growing up, I wanted to kill myself because I couldn't resolve my faith in Mormonism, in the religion, but yet my belief that I was gay, that I am gay. And I couldn't resolve those two. And it was torturous. It was beyond anything. My parents had to be there for me a lot of the time without sometimes knowing what was really going on with me. So this is exciting for me because of everything that I went through. And it's amazing that I ended up getting through it, that I didn't actually take my life. I don't know how that happened. I believe that God was there with me. And so this is exciting because I have so much I would want to share to myself at that age. If only I had a video like this when I was that age to bring me some sort of comfort or hope, because I didn't have it. I didn't have anything. So what I would want to say to all of those out there that are in a similar situation, who your heart is breaking, you feel beyond alone. I used to think that. I used to think that my story was so unique and I was the only one out there, and it's not true. The older I get, the more time I'm around, I see where my community is, and I see the people around me that have similar stories. The message that I want to say to you, and the promise, is that it does get better. Don't confuse this with that it gets easy, because life is always hard. The difference that I want to say is that the reason why it gets better is because life gets better when you don't have your self-hatred. Life gets better when you have hope. And that's why things get better. Not because all of a sudden life is just easy, but because when you love yourself and when you accept yourself, life opens up and relationships open up, and it's great. One thing that I would like to, I guess, say is that it took me over a decade to be able to learn how to accept myself, love myself. So when it comes to your family members and your friends that may have a difficult time accepting who you are, be patient with them is the best thing I can say, because it's going to take them twice the amount of time to adjust. I mean, it took me almost a decade. How long is it going to take my family to accept that? That's not today, and my family still loves me, and that is a very big blessing. But just be patient with your friends and family. When I got to BYU, one time I was sitting in a class and we were talking about sexuality, and homosexuality came up, of course. And here I am sitting in a class of BYU students, and I'm thinking, oh geez, this is going to be horrible. This is going to be a nightmare. And so people start raising their hands and discussing homosexuality, and I just grit my teeth and bear it, because I normally don't out myself unless it comes up. And finally it came around to this guy, and he said, you know, there are actually 6 different times when you develop sexually, and so there are 6 different times when something could go wrong. And after he said that, I couldn't take it anymore. And my hand shoots up and I say, I'm gay and there's nothing wrong with me. And that type of language is what makes gay people think that Mormons hate them or they're wrong. After that, the professor thanked me for what I said and ended up turning the conversation more along the lines of, hey, are we Christians or are we not? Do we love everybody or do we not? And he ended up emailing me and asked me to put together a presentation on homosexuality to present to the class, because he didn't feel like he did a good job about it. And so I gave this presentation, and I can't tell you, we spent an hour talking about it. People were asking questions, and I'm sure they learned a lot, but I learned something far more valuable for me, in that I walked away realizing that I don't go to school with a bunch of hateful people, which is what I thought before. I thought I was surrounded by homophobic people that would hate me if they knew, and I left that classroom realizing that they're not hateful. They just are ignorant. They didn't know, and there was no one to teach them. I've been lucky enough to be put in situations where I can educate people and even educate myself, and BYU has been a good experience, and there are loving people here, and I have been accepted. Everyone that knows who I am and is truly a friend knows that I'm a lesbian, and they have accepted me, and I'll never go back to pretending. It was too hard. Ever since I've come out everywhere, work, church, school, my life is infinitely better. I'm happier, I'm more at peace. There have been difficult times, absolutely, absolutely, but if you can get through those hard times, there will be moments of peace, and there will be times of peace like I have. So the most important thing that I want to say is that I love you. I love you for who you are, for the struggle that you're going through, and there are many more people that do love you and will love you. And I wish you all the best. I wish you hope. I wish you self-love. It does get better.